history is not a museum. It is a house with thin walls, and sometimes the people inside never truly leave. I found this journal in a forgotten archive in Bavaria. The leather was cracked like old skin. The writer called himself the listener. He claimed that if you stand in certain places at certain hours, the past speaks back, not in words, in screams that sound like your own. Tonight, we listen together. Do not speak. Do not move. They hate being interrupted. March 31st, 1922. A remote farm near Hinterkaifeck, Germany. The patriarch, Andreas Gruber, found strange tracks in the snow. They were human footprints leading from the dark woods to the house, but none went back. For days, the family heard footsteps in the attic. Their house keys vanished. A newspaper they hadn't bought appeared on the landing. But they stayed. They stayed anyway. On that final night, while the family slept, someone was waiting in the hayloft. One by one, they were led to the barn, lured to their deaths by a familiar voice. 6 bodies. Skulls crushed with a mattock. The new maid and the youngest daughter were found later in the house, their bodies still warm. The killer remained in the house for days afterward, feeding the animals, eating their food, sleeping in their beds. No one was ever caught. But the house still stands in photographs. And in every photo, there is one extra shadow that doesn't belong. New Jersey, 1917. They called the paint undark. It was radium, and it glowed like captured moonlight. The factory girls were told to lip point there. Brushes to put the tip between their lips to make a fine. Precise point for painting clock dials. They glowed in the dark after their shifts. They laughed. They painted their nails, their teeth, thinking it was a harmless perk. Then their jaws began to rot. Their teeth fell out like loose stones. Their bones crumbled to chalk. The company doctors told them it was syphilis, a lie to cover their guilt. One girl, her name lost to history, died screaming that the light inside her was trying to get out. According to the nurse who fled the room in terror, her last words were, "It's still glowing." Under the skin, it's still glowing. August 24th, 79 AD. Vesuvius didn't erupt with fire. It erupted with a column of dust that stretched 20 miles high into the sky. Then came the pyroclastic surge, a cloud of 600-degree gas moving faster than any man could run. In the town of Herculaneum, bodies were cooked instantly. Brains boiled inside their own skulls, which then exploded from the pressure. One mother was found shielding her child, their skeletons fused together forever in the ash. But listen closely to the plaster casts made from the voids their bodies left behind. Some archaeologists swear that if you put your ear to the hollow space where a face once was, you can still hear the scream they never had a chance to finish. Harbin, China. Sometime between the 1930s and 1945, they called it Unit 731. They called the prisoners Maruta, logs. They performed living dissections without anesthesia to study the effects of frostbite. They would freeze a person's limbs, then thaw them to watch the flesh rot away. They amputated limbs and sewed them onto different bodies, just to see if they would take. One of the logs, a girl no older than 12, was opened while she was still conscious. The surgeon later wrote in a private note, "She looked at me the entire time, not with hate, with curiosity, as if she wanted to know what we would find inside." Guyana, November 18th, 1978, Jonestown. Over 900 people drank the poison. They were told it was a revolutionary act, a passage to freedom. The children were forced to drink first. A mother held her infant while the cyanide burned through them both. The final recording, recovered from the scene, crackles with the sounds of a final, terrible command. "Where's the baby?" Bring the baby to me, then silence. But some visitors who dare to venture into the jungle at night claim they still hear the faint sound of children laughing, asking if you want to drink too. The listener wrote one final chilling entry in his journal. I thought I was reading history, but history was reading me. And now it knows my name. It knows yours too. You can close the book, or you can keep listening. They prefer the second option. Thanks for listening with us tonight. Subscribe if you want to hear more stories from the other side.